All right, Benny, what is the mood there? Is there any trepidation amongst Republicans and Democrats that these files are going to be released and whose names are in there? I mean, how are people sizing this up now as we're about to get a document dump?
Well, Grant, it's funny. It seems that right after these bills went through, all the mainstream media that was right here in the Cannon Rotunda, they all disappeared. And I wonder why that is. But overall today, it was a pretty antsy day. There was definitely a lot of questions, and we saw a lot of members of Congress. Thomas Massey was here talking to media for quite a while. But overall, it's what we expected. You know, Mike Johnson had said, you know, this unanimous, he expected a unanimous vote, and that is basically what we got, aside for that one House Republican that voted against it. But Grant, what I will say is we were very, very surprised how fast the Senate approved this bill. I was saying that it was going to take at least till the week after Thanksgiving, because you know how these things get caught up on the floor and these lawmakers like to take their time. But it's heading straight to President Trump's desk, and so we should have some answers possibly even tonight.
All right, you know, look, it's a tribute to President Trump and how powerful he is. He says, okay, let's do it, let's pass it. Every Republican in the Senate, virtually every Republican in the House, jumped on board and said, okay, we'll do it. The Democrats couldn't back away from it because they know they'd have egg on their face if now all of a sudden they said no, which is where I think President Trump set these Democrats up. Do you want to take some speculation, Benny, as to what comes out in these documents?
Grant, I'm gonna tread lightly on this one, but it's not going to be good, I don't think. We have seen Democrats here on Capitol Hill today have been silent. When I tell you, usually they are just yelling from the rooftops. Well, not today. And after what we've seen with Stacey Plaskett, if that's her name, and her texting Jeffrey Epstein while in a committee hearing and then claiming that it was just because he was one of her constituents. Are we serious right now? They just continue to dig themselves into deeper holes. And I've been telling people on social media today to be prepared for what's going to come out. You have Harvard professors stepping down because of their connections to Epstein. I have a feeling that we are going to see some very, very high-level names on this list. But like you said in the beginning of the show, there are going to be things that we're not going to see. And that's what worries me and worries. I think American people should be worried about that as well. What are they going to hide? Because they still can.
My belief is the documents that we want to see about just to the levels of what Jeffrey Epstein's, call it corruption, his operation within the CIA, how far it goes, is in the CIA and the State Department, and the DOJ doesn't have it. So we shall see. As President Trump said, it's never enough. It's like the JFK files, to quote him. But it is a start. Benny Harmony, great to have you on the program. Thank you.
Yep.